Okay, remember the story we covered from about a year ago?
A Bucks County man has been arrested on charges of attempted and kidnapping of a woman in a grocery store parking lot Tuesday night.
A few moments later.
And the big story in Action News is attempted charges dropped against a man wrongfully accused after he spent more than a month behind bars. Tonight, a 20-year-old Bucks County woman says she lied about the attack after police said her story didn't add up.
And now fast forward 1 year later, and now I can tell you if she's going to serve time for this lie or not. So now, if you remember this case from a year ago, you can skip all the way to the end and see what happens. Timestamps are below. But if you don't remember this story, here are the facts. This is 20-year-old Angela Yuramova. She is a 20-year-old nursing student with aspirations of becoming a surgeon. Now, on April 16, 2024, she reported to police that someone tried to kidnap her. Here's what she said.
According to the Bucks County District Attorney's Office, the woman told police she parked her car in the back of this parking lot, and almost immediately after getting out, she was grabbed from behind by a man. She told police she started to scream, but the man wouldn't let go, eventually pulling down her pants, yelling at her to shut up, and punching her in the face as he pushed her toward his truck. Officials say the woman continued to scream, which scared off the man, who ran back to his vehicle and drove off.
Now, Yuramova described the attacker's truck as an old blue Ford F-150 or F-250 with a thin blue line sticker on the back driver's side. Now, police were able to use this information to look at local license plate readers, and in the system, they were trying to figure out were there any Ford F-150 or F-250 trucks in the area at the time of the alleged assault. Police then got a hit on the system that there was a Ford F-250 traveling at a nearby intersection around the time of the assault. And even more lucky for the police, they were familiar with the vehicle and the person who owned the vehicle. His name was Daniel Pearson. And even worse, the police saw that Daniel Pearson's physical description matched the description that the victim was giving to police. So Daniel Pearson was arrested on multiple felony charges.
A Bucks County man has been arrested on charges of attempted and kidnapping of a woman in a grocery store parking lot Tuesday night.
It happened outside the Redners on Lincoln Highway in Middletown Township.
So after the arrest, police continued to investigate and things just didn't add up. For instance, there was surveillance footage of the area, and when police looked at the surveillance footage, they didn't see any alleged attack or any suspicious activity occurring at the reported time. Then police looked at Yuramova's GPS on her phone, and it revealed that she wasn't even in the parking lot at the time she claimed the incident occurred, or at least her phone wasn't. And then her identification of Pearson and his blue F-150 truck, well, come to find out, she had seen Pearson before and just randomly named him as her attacker, even though he had nothing to do with it because she felt he was creepy.
Saying she named him because she had seen him and his truck in the shopping center previously and thought he was, quote, creepy.
So police eventually called Yuramova in and said, hey, listen, girl, none of this makes sense. It seems like it's all a lie. And then Yuramova admitted to making the entire incident up.
The complaint states that shortly after his arrest, officials received information from Pearson's family that warranted further investigation. So detectives reviewed surveillance video and found at no point in the video did Pearson's truck travel through any part of the path Yuramova claimed the vehicle took. Yuramova was called to the DA's office for questioning last Thursday, and because of more inconsistencies in her story, she was called back in on Friday. That's when the complaint states Yuramova admitted that she had lied about the entire incident and that no assault occurred. Yuramova said she had seen Pearson and his truck before in the parking lot of her old job and that he was, quote, creepy. All charges against Pearson have been dropped.
Now, even though Pearson was eventually released, he had spent over a month in jail. He had spent a month in jail over these totally made up false accusations because of the mantra, believe all women.
The man was originally charged with multiple felony offenses and spent 31 days in jail. According to the DA's office, all charges were withdrawn.
Now, in most of these cases, when it's found out that a woman has lied about being sexually assaulted, generally they are not charged with the crime because the authorities believe that if you charge this woman with filing a false police report, then that'll dissuade other real victims from coming forward because they feel that if no one believes them, then they may be charged. But prosecutors in this case believe that this woman needed to be charged. A man had spent a month in jail over false accusations that she just made up. So they charged her with multiple crimes.
20-year-old woman is out on bail tonight, according to court records, after investigators say she lied about an attempted and kidnapping in Middletown. The man she accused of the crime spent 31 days in jail before all charges against him were withdrawn, says the DA's office.
Prosecutors say cases like this can impact how victims feel about coming forward. Here's our Kelly Rule.
The father of the man wrongly accused talked to me off camera this afternoon, saying this hasn't only been horrible for his son, but for the entire family. Investigators say these types of cases not only impact the community, but future victims of these types of crimes. First Assistant DA Edward Luca says this is the result of taking all allegations of sexual assault seriously, but also seeing the investigation through to the truth. And they plan to take the case against Yurimova just as seriously.
Cases like this feed into, I guess, a stereotype or a notion that true victims who have truly been traumatized and victimized might not be telling the truth. If this stops even one victim from coming forward, then that's also irreparable as well.
Yurimova was charged with filing a false police report, among other crimes. Again, according to court records, she did post bail this morning.
Now, the part that's even worse about this whole story is that she identified Pearson in a lineup. They took him and put him in a lineup, and she said she was 60% sure that he was the person that assaulted her. So, yeah, she went above and beyond. At any point in time, she could have said, I'm lying, this thing doesn't made up. But she literally pointed him out in the lineup and said that that was the guy who did this to me. Now, she was arrested on 7 charges ranging from filing a false police report to tampering with physical evidence. Now, Yurimova was released on $30,000 bail, and she has to return to court to face these charges. Now, this is the danger with the believe all women no matter what scenario, because this woman obviously was lying about this whole thing. For what purpose? No one still knows. No one knows why this woman just straight up lied about the situation. And this was the classic he said, she said. She said, this happened to me in this parking lot. And he said, I don't know what you're talking about. And they locked him up for a month. Locked him up for a month and gave him $1 million bail. That shows you the power of this woman being able to tell this story. Now, that was a year ago. And remember what I said back then. She should at least spend a month in prison because he spent a month in prison and he didn't even do anything. And there should be some payment of restitution to that man for his time being wasted. So here is the official press release from the Bucks County District Attorney's Office, released on April 1st, 2025. Now, her official sentence is 45 days to 23 months in a Bucks County Correctional Facility. So she gets a little bit over a month, or she can be there for up to 2 years. The judge also ordered her no contact with the victim or his family and to pay $3,600 in restitution to the victim. Here's how local news covered her being sentenced.
A Bristol Township woman who falsely accused a stranger of trying to kidnap and rape her is going to jail. Last April, 20-year-old Angela Yurimova told police a man grabbed her in a parking lot, punched her, and tried to drag her into his truck. Police traced the man down and arrested him in front of his wife and kids. He spent a month in jail before detectives questioned Yurimova about inconsistencies in her story. She then admitted she had never met him and he never touched her. Yurimova will spend at least a month and a half in jail for the false claims.
All right, so now to the comment section. Do you think she got enough time? Remember, this guy was facing life in prison, and she got maybe 45 days if things go well. She could serve up to 2 years, but 45 days. I honestly think she should have gotten more time, but I'll leave it up to the good people in the comment section to tell me where I'm wrong. With that being said, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and this is the closed case of Yurimova and her lies for who knows why.